Hi, Doug Casey here, Down to Earth Golf. This video is about extension. So if you have trouble hitting the ball fat and thin, hitting behind the ball or hitting the middle of the ball or on top of the ball, and you've checked your pivot, you've checked your posture, you've checked your ball position, you're a little bit stumped, well, probably your extension. You know, people say you lifted your head. Well, actually one of my favorite golf instruction books is a book called You're Not Lifting Your Head. I don't see many people lift their head. In fact, maybe I've seen 2 in 5,000 people that have lifted their head. It's not something most people do. But what a lot of people do is they take the club back, everything's good, and they come down and they pull in just that little bit. Just a little bit of that motion there will cause you to hit it thin and fat all over the place. Usually thin, but unless so, if you're doing this, you're gonna hit thin and then you might try to use your wrists and then you're never gonna be consistent. So how do we get rid of that pull up? Well, one is tension level. What is your tension level? Especially through your shoulders and your neck. Let's keep that down to a minimum if we can. If we measure tension levels from 0 to 10, 0 being totally relaxed, 10 being as tight as you can go, you know, grip pressure, hopefully a 4 or 5. Tension level in the shoulders, ideally a 0, but let's call it a 2 or 3. Forearms, well, especially your lead forearm, you might have a little tension there because you got to control the golf club, but through your upper arms and all through there, boy, you'd like to be at a 2 or 3. You'd like to be very relaxed. So that's important. Check your tension levels. I also want you to understand that when this club is swinging, there is something called centrifugal force. You want to call it centrifugal force, go right ahead. I don't think anybody's going to sue you. That club head is pulling out. Let it pull out. Don't try to pull it back in to control it. Let that club head pull your arms straight. You know, just so we're clear, this shaft here, my club weighs 120 grams. That's nothing compared to this club head that weighs about 600 grams. So the weight of the club is all down here. There's nothing here. Okay? Swing the weight of that club head. Let it pull your arms. Try a couple of swings where you feel like, oh, like there's nothing there. There's no tension at all. What would that feel and look like? Whether you're just barely hanging on to the golf club and you feel that club pulling your arms. A lot of great instructors would have you take an old club and just chuck it. Just throw it out down the range. See what that feels like. Get that extension. Watch yourself on video. See if, as you come down, your left arm should be pretty straight. Again, don't force it straight. That club is pulling it straight. Let it be straight. That right arm should be straightening out. By the time you get just before impact, both arms should be straight. They come through the ball, bang. Ideally, they're both straight here, and then that left arm is going to fold, and then the right arm is going to fold, or elbow if you want to call it that. But let those arms straight out. Let that club head pull your arm straight. If you see anything like this on the video, cause for alarm. It's going to be tougher to play golf. You're going to lose speed, and you're definitely going to lose consistency. You're going to have trouble making solid contact. One of the main causes I see for those arms coming up, those elbows folding without need to be, is the use of the, go back to the use of the wrists. So if I'm coming down here and my wrists do the proper things, everything's good, I'm going to hit the ball on the way down, and I'm going to make a divot after the ball. My low point of my swing is going to be way up there. But if I'm on the way down here and that right wrist pushes the club, or I slow my pivot and that club starts to come down, if this happens, that lengthens this lever out between the left shoulder and the club head, and I'm going to hit it fat. You'll learn really quickly that hitting it fat isn't fun, and so you'll pull back to try to hit a good shot. And you might hit some really good shots. You might hit 5 in a row by being able to time this. But you won't be able to hit it really consistently, especially when you come on the golf course, and especially when you get into uneven lies. So if you're doing this, check your tension levels, check what your wrists are doing, check your pivot, okay? And try to take some swings where, boy, how relaxed can I be? And Can I let that club pull out on my arms? Can I feel the weight of that club head all the way through the swing? If you can't feel the weight of that club head all the way through the swing, then they got too much tension there. One of the great instructors ever was a guy named Ernest Jones, way back at the turn of the century, wrote a book called Swing the Club Head, and he had the picture of a string with a jackknife on the end. And he wanted you to be able to swing that jackknife with that string and not have it buckle up or come back at you. It's not a bad image either. So we do want good extension. Just to review, I want to be able to come down here. Okay, left arm gets pretty straight because it's relaxed and that club head's pulling out on it. I come into the ball, both arms straighten out. Hopefully they stay straight here. We have good extension through this area of the swing. And then eventually the elbows have to fold and come up. I want you to understand that. I want you to try to do it. Good golfing.